Hi everybody, thanks for joining me for another video blog this week. So if you follow my blogs, you know I talk a lot about happiness. In fact, the branding words of my business, of Vitali, it's happiness in motion. So of course I am constantly researching happiness. What does it mean? Why so many people are chasing and not finding? Why so many people are famous, billionaires, celebrities, sports figures, and you think they have everything, but they're not happy, they unfulfilled, right? If you follow Tony Robbins, he talks about this all the time, how many times he gets calls from these famous people claiming they're miserable. So what is it? What is it that we're chasing? And first of all, let's stop using the word chasing. Stop chasing happiness. Because happiness is not a thing. It's not a place. Happiness, it's a state of mind. As Tony Robbins says in a very powerful video, and I think I got to see him live a few months ago, and I think that has been the topic of his passion, his message now, that, there is a science about making money. There's a formula how to make money. Anybody can make money. There's a formula how to get a fit body. I can share with you the formula. Work with me for 3 months and I share with you the formula and you get fit. You can run a marathon, a triathlon, whatever you want. There's a formula to build a house and so on. But there's no formula, no science really about happiness. I can't just give you a formula because it's an art. And again, I'm stealing the quote of Tony Robbins. Happiness is an art. And we can replace the word happiness by states of joy, states of contentment, peace of mind with no matter what happens in your life. So you can replace the word if happiness is not a word that works for you. But what I mean by stop chasing? Well, first of all, let's define the word happiness. I found in one of my books, and if you're curious about understand more about happiness, I'm going to share at the end of this video blog all my favorite books that I have researched so far. But the study says the definition of happiness, it's pleasure combined with deeper feelings of meaning and purpose. So we're really talking here about sustained happiness, about happiness endurance. And in one of my video blogs, I'm gonna share with you my strategies to build happiness endurance. And sometimes I go to stores, go to places, and I practice one of my secrets of how to sustain happiness: kindness. I'm always smiling, so I constantly get people say, wow, why are you so happy? What is your secret? And I say, it's just a choice. And it is a choice. You can choose to be happy no matter what's happening in your life. And sometimes I define this as being a true spiritual person. You choose kindness, you choose joy, you choose happiness no matter what's happening in your life. And let me clarify something here. Choosing happiness does not mean you shouldn't feel sad, you shouldn't feel hurt, or you shouldn't feel upset. Let's look at the bigger picture. Choosing happiness really means, and look at the situations when you're sad, when you feel hurt. Look at the situations as a full participator in that participant in that situation, and looking from the eyes or perception of how can I learn from this situation? What is my participation here? Could I have done something different? And move on. Don't stay in that state of sadness, of depression, of being upset. Because if you stay there, you're choosing to focus, you're choosing to obsess about your own state without putting yourself in other people's situations. So that's when my other secret of enduring happiness comes in, which is compassion. Okay? But again, I'm going to share the strategies in more depth in my next video blog. So I put a little illustration here on the chasing happiness. And what I see today a lot, people come to my studio. Just recently I saw, a young man coming to me and say, I'm going to be happy when I find deeper love. I'm going to be happy when I find this job. And he's in this framework right here, right? Of success is the center of the life, and happiness will happen if this person finds money, finds relationship or marriage. And this is just illustration about people in general. It's not about any particular client. But then I put several phases here of like feeling flat, feeling unhappy, having moments of happiness because maybe you drank an amazing bottle of wine or you bought a new car. That will give you momentary happiness, but it's not gonna last, as you know. So I put several phases here. So if the framework of, or the system of your life is about, I'm going to be happy if I make this amount of money, I'm going to be happy when I find this deeper love, be careful. That's not sustainable happiness. And that sets us up for a lot of disappointments, a lot of resentment, even depression and anxiety. A lot of people live in states of depression and anxiety because they putting these things before happiness. And again, they chasing happiness and they never get it, right? So what is the right framework? And this is not just my framework. This is based on a lot of research, and now it's also based on science. There's a lot of TED Talks by Shawn Achor and other PhDs really researching this at Harvard, Stanford. So we talk about very smart people researching this, right? It's not just a Dalai Lama talk anymore. So this is the frame, very simple. This is how life works. This is how happiness works. So if there is a formula, I said earlier there isn't, so maybe it was wrong, maybe there is, right? I'm sharing here with you. The formula is find a state of joy and happiness now. And I said earlier there is no formula because this is a very hard thing to teach. This is a very hard thing for me to just tell people, start living like this. It takes commitment. It takes discipline. It takes passion for yourself and passion for life in order to live in this framework. When you're in a constant state of happiness and then success just happens. That's why I did this little illustration here. You're happy now. Then your goals are much easier to attain. You can attain your goals without struggle. We have to change this mindset that to achieve your goals or your vision, it takes hard work and struggle and suffering. It does not. Doesn't work that way anymore. I put here, if you're in a state of joy and happiness, if there's a state of flow as you attain your goals. And it's not going to look like this, guys. We know it's going to look a little bit like this, right? But if you're in a state, you're centered with happiness and joy, you can recover from these moments, from this challenge that take you down much easier. So try to apply this framework, make this illustration, put in your fridge and find your happiness. So what do I do daily to work my happiness endurance? I meditate every morning. I exercise. I take care of my health every day. I am kind to my clients. I'm kind to the clerks at Whole Foods. I'm kind to every person on the street. I smile and say hi. I play with my dog. I read books every single day. I engage deeply with my clients. I have purpose and passion for my work. So those things fuel my happiness. And that's why I said earlier, it takes commitment. It also takes clarity about understanding yourself and what it takes for you to be happy. So this is my message for the day. I will share more about happiness, go a little more in depth about how to build happiness endurance. And if you want to learn about the mindset of happiness, come to my workshop June 18. I'm going to be talking a lot about this because to go from this frame to this, it's about mindset shift. And it's not just about waking up, I'm going to change today. There's some work involved, and I'm going to go into depth about this work on June 18. There is a link right here that will take you to my website with more details about my workshop. 6 hours of lectures and exercises. So when you leave the workshop, you have some material to work with. So don't miss this great workshop. I have a few more seats available. And thank you and have a happy day. Okay, I'm back here to share with you what I promised. My favorite books about happiness if you're curious to learn more about what I just shared with you. So of course there's the classic Dalai Lama, The Art of Happiness. Shawn Achor has been interviewed by Oprah. He has TED Talks. He is quoted in a lot of other books about success and happiness and health. Happiness Advantage. Same author before Happiness, Shawn Achor as well. Authentic Happiness, really good book. Several markers in this book. I loved it. Hardwiring Happiness by Rick Hanson. And one that I'm just finishing right now that is not necessarily about happiness, but it talks a lot about the power to shift our mindset, to change our mindset and change our beliefs, which leads to happiness. And that's The Code of the Extraordinary Mind. I love this guy. So these are my books. I hope you enjoyed this video and share with me what you think about any of these books if you happen to read them. Thank you.